So with that in mind, let's continue. What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
So, wouldn't it be fun to see Renee and this guy, what was his name, Ivanovich something, have a conversation together? God, one of them would kill the other. You mean the landing, retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
Coalition military.
Iblis,
Iblis?
the black-eyed angel.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Right. Property is theft. What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
His hand on his belly.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stew, too.
I see. So you wanted to do one last thing before you passed away. And it was to kill a mercenary, I guess? I wonder if you were aiming for the mercenary.
DRCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. He must be in pain.
I have been running out of that stuff.
I think we're starting to convince him. This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over and we can do it.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
So how have you coped mentally, being alone for 43 years?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
I also have holes in my brain.
No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins.
You'd think... Could you not refer to them with a racial slur if they're true dyed-wool communists? I don't know, man. Just a suggestion here.
And others, too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get here? How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy.
Dinghy.
I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache under Saint Lane 22B. In the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Why'd they kill themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
One more question. Do you smoke Tiomotiri cigarettes?
I do.
Ever smoke them on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Tell me one more thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless surrender.
You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
Don't get too passionate there.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire.
So you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army. Good job.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
The lieutenant says softly.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
That means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
I have another serious question for you. And I think we all know what that question is going to be.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Wait, so which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you.
So you're saying you kill people after active fighting stopped.
What did I just say?
He keeps shaking his head erratically suddenly. He brushes something out of his eye.
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Crenell?
The who now?
He leans in and cups his ear.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the whirling in rags. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
So is this just like an extremist thing? Like, sorry, extremist, but whatever, man. Like, just call all your enemies pedophiles, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's the worst accusation ever. They can't get away from that. How are we pederasts?
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, eh? Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Ah, so you watched.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
We saved a lot of them. Their leader Titus. We handled that situation.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those murderers rip right into them. Got most of them killed. Even the fat one. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city, and you prepare the meal for them.
So you watched the fight? Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing, your plan. You got them killed.
You don't know anything.
A twitch runs across the right side of his face as he stares the lieutenant down. Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon.
Good.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and draws a single line. Probably a check mark.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
The old man does not say more. He just glances into the reeds and then twitches once more. We've done the ballistics. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession.
The lieutenant softens his voice.
You've been here a long time, Mr. Droz. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
It's the best uninterrupted line of sight into that window in all of Martinez.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Another sudden twitch, then one more in his right eye. Don't like how twitchy he's suddenly getting. Come on, what am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybell. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh, yes!
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course, thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
There were Maybells behind the victim's window.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez. Only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A curious tremor passes his face. A young woman called Classier. Ring any bells? These dried flowers are behind her window.
Classier.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch, a spasm.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
Wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa. Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Duras.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of his worn-out old running shoes on his feet.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
Interesting.
The size fits, but not the sole.
The lieutenant comes to the same conclusion. Wait, maybe it's simpler than that. Oh,
Simple?
really?
No. This is another loose thread you will never connect.
Come on, man. Oh, wow, snake eyes. Really? Goddamn footprints everywhere. I hate them.
The lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here.
Look, man. I got snake eyes.
Not now. Stop yourself.
People change shoes, detective. It was you. You were there, weren't you? Crawling and whirling in rags. What were you doing? Some kind of reconnaissance? Preparing the scene? Listening in on her?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a soldier, too. He was a man. Or he was a killer, but he was still under the protection of law. Might have been a rapist, but not anyone we knew. Which one? Which one?
Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner.
Yeah, but you were too much of a coward to do it until you were dying.
Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
So you killed him?
Oh, the inhuman.
Yes, yes, go monologue. You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the anger.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I'll hold my breath too.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
He begins to smile. I wonder if there's, the Miranda rights in this thing. Does he have the right to remain silent? Before we get a confession out of him? Probably not.
I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
The lieutenant asks after a second of silence.
Yes.
A single word is all he gives.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly, very slowly.
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
He shrugs and smacks his lips.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
No, I don't understand why either. Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
If it's part of the shit you see,
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
what specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them fucking. I didn't like that.
Oh, so you were jealous.
Jealousy is a reactionary.
Okay.
I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing.
Well, his head didn't exactly explode.
That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
True. Yeah, I think Claudia really has this effect on men. I think she had this effect on Titus, too. Where he was jealous, even though he says it's a reactionary concept. He's already sympathized with the reactionaries, but whatever. How long had you been watching her?
since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night.
Oh, I see. You were the one who took her documents from the Bowie.
Past the Fell building on the coast. What was she doing?
She was hiding her documents.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
This is the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I'd put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
A little inconsistency. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
Are you sure? We checked the submersible. There was nothing there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system.
Well, he is pretty old. You saw her name on the passport, but before, when I said her name is Clausia, you didn't seem to recognize it.
You didn't say Clausia in there.
Well, okay, we already know this. What did it say her name was in the passport?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo.
Did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revishal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook? From the documents?
She had different color hair in the photo. And glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you.
How did you see all this? The bruises as she was beaten? Oh, I think he's been spying on her like a naughty old pervert.
I'm not blind, am I?
It quickly comes to you.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Mm-hmm. Bending like a bow against
Ew.
the glass.
Alright, go to horny jail. You've been through the secret route behind the whirling in rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
He keeps shaking his head.
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
We sure are.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
Good question.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
He points toward the whirling in rags.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
Did you have feelings for that woman? I feel like this question is somewhat rhetorical. I think he absolutely did.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
There have been others?
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Not. Is it? Is it fascist to like women? Do you think love can bloom even on the battlefield, Snake? Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
He starts to shake his head again, a sunflower on a withered stalk. Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells.
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
It's as if something put the thought there to leave the flowers.
Something put the thought in you, a compulsion.
What do you mean, put?
He raises his eyes, they're round and wide.
A brief flash of terror.
I just got this feeling from what you said. Do you agree?
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
He wipes his eye.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him. It was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes, then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eye. Woman, man. They get you every time.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, but she let us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the sea fort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Across the water, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, made of grey cinder block houses with Eternite roofs, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea.
Special consultant?
He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him.
They're watching me?
Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years?
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
We've met a couple of racists. Actually, a few, now I think about it. The crypto-fascist, the racist lorry driver, and we can never forget Measurehead. Measurehead's posse is probably somewhat racist as well. But... And of course, everyone's a little bit racist, as we know. Aside from that... Oh, there's also Kuno. Probably his dad, too, and Kuno S. They're pretty racist. Oh, and the mercenaries. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. We've seen a lot of racists.
Pump full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Let's let him finish.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruin.
Is that so bad?
Intense, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
He keeps shaking his sight with sorrow for all the sight he missed. So, yeah, not a fan of anodic dance music. That all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Cyprian
yes.
on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no.
No sympathy for the woman when they're old, huh?
The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
Well, do I have some good news for you, man?
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Some weird obsession you have here.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children.
You're fucking weird,
Throughout
man.
history,
Pardon my language.
Even the royal bloodline of the suzerain. It's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
What follows is ominous mumbling. You cannot make out a single word.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
Disco whores?
Whores.
Oof, is all that he says. Even that word has to be pushed through his teeth with great force. The rage seethes too hard. You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real, the true enemy of the proletariat. Hating the masses.
Oh god, this guy is Twitter incarnate. Who's a disappointment? Everard Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
You mean Edgar?
That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on.
You've talked to Edgar.
First against the wall with him.
He stopped poking at the ash now, just shakes his head.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course, maybe the Clears asked him to.
Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains.
He points to the path leading to the tower.
Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. wouldn't rat me out.
Well, he didn't.
I was right about one of those things.
Oh, so... Wait. Which one were you right about? When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
I don't really know why you're so angry with them. And he let you be here.
Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor
Zed.
of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
Mr. Dross, did you kill the Crenel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Logic, huh? Might as well upgrade it. Got the skill points.
The connection
Nice.
comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
Hey,
A sputter from the old man.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
that bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
His eyes glistened suddenly with hatred.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
She was also a woman, wasn't she? Like that Classier.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
He squints and smiles at the black logs.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
No, I don't think that is quite it.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
You swear you could see the embers glow again, under his eyes in the dust. Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Hmm.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why is that?
Because she was dead.
How come?
Because the cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal, grasping her tit, and drowned. Or bled. Hard to say. It was a sloppy job on a moving target.
Huh. A hired killer. For the Union.
She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins.
You shot her.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage. Different from the one he has for her.
nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal.
A sputter again. Nothing more.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
The lieutenant says in a voice even calmer, as if it were nothing at all.
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
Interesting choice.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
He looks to the city.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
By the quote-unquote cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Rene.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A patank maniac race traitor.
You already did mention it.
I remember him. I remember him from Lanos. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one.
With his shaky finger, he points to the city, toward the crater near the plaza where a lonely pine tree stands.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross. Shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
The lieutenant asks cheerfully.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel
He lets out a wistful sigh.
better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Well, I don't know if there are going to be any consequences for saying this, but Rene is dead. He died of old age a couple days ago.
No,
Yes.
I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand.
Yeah, I'm sure you're real sorry, Kim.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You had 1,000 chances to kill him.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You try to think of something else, but no. It's just hatred.
You cared about him.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Are you okay, Mr. Dross, to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
Colonize the Pale? Is such a thing even possible? I wonder.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
I'm glad we talked about this. Now,
Glad we talked about what?
another erratic gesture. He's trembling. How much is this? 42? Yeah, let's upgrade this. Or actually, why don't we just try it?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it?
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Alright, this is my last chance. I have no other motorics. I don't have any other point slots. So. Oh, wait, what?
But you said I would be taken to the...
Taken to the what?
the sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But
Kim, he's afraid.
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Let's increase our perception here. Might as well.
You thought
Wow.
you heard something. But
Wow.
it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him while I come back for you?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? Is this a fucking farce? I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Maybe I can just ask that nitpicker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
Very true.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Actually, no.
You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No need to be polite. I'll do it.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Your sins crawl on your back. I have my gun equipped. The Insulindian Phasmid!
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds.
We did it, lads!
By limb. To then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
We did it! Let's blink.
It's still there. An unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin. hovering in place.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There it is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reed.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
Yeah.
4 simple words. Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
It's huge. Those traps would not work on it.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers and takes a step towards the giant arthropod. Wow, okay. Well, let's save our game here. Sure, we'll keep the gun on. Hello, Phasmid.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
This is the Insulindian Phasmid.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant
Yes.
holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open. Extremely
Yes.
carefully. It's the camera.
No. The flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Kim, the flash is loud. It won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
It's afraid. Stop now.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He has stopped fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
He's letting his pride get in the way. You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Just listen to me.
Shh. Okay.
The lieutenant puts his finger to his lips and nods.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly.
Alright, let's do this. Yes!
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
I'm going to raise my hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you.
God, it's funny. Lena said the creature was even taller than her, but it's like, oh, that couldn't be. This thing is way taller than us, and we're adults. God, look at this thing.
Suddenly, there is silence. No. Stop. Be afraid.
Let's raise the... Let's put our hand down.
The invertebrate comes back to life,
Yes.
stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem on either side of the insect's small head.
Hello. I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth. along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Let's stand on our tippy toes and look a little more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Our suspect is still down here, fortunately.
The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning. Apricot blossoms, white blossoms erupting, a sensation like cold hands on your face.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
It's the Insulindian Phasmid talking to us! I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire, burning,
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph. Like sap from a one palm.
Cool voice.
Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness, being intruded upon. Transient, dim, moist.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals. And internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding.
Is this Bjork?
I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never burn.
I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you. With all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Orthopods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control,
Aww.
the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Thank you, Insulindian Phasmid. Or, yeah, Insulindian.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. But from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Okay, so you're not carnivorous. Glad we got that settled.
In honor of your shit, Lieutenant Ifreter, which you kept together in the face of total unrelenting terror, day after day, second by second. Detective, arriving on the scene.
I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
It's a killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration,
You're destroying him.
very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Oh my lord. Alright, is this a dream? What is happening?
No, informing me. This is real.
Fantastic. Where does this come from? All of this, around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
We need to know. Perhaps it's sent to us by a god?
I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
I gotta say, I love the Insulindian phasmid. It's so cute. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that this is happening right now, but, like, it's so freaking cute! Look at this thing! What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
Ah, parthenogenesis.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
Yes, I remember.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the Suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me.
The Seminese came here first. Fascinating.
I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revachol, district of Martinez, March 51.
Are you poisonous?
Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry, it is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
That's insane.
No, you are.
Oh yeah.
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you.
Really?
No one remembers
Is that
it
so?
before you. The Nigerians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, the Pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
Suddenly I'm reminded of Persona 4. Yeah, that's a lot like the TV world in Persona 4. I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
That's weird, because I feel like that happened in the real world too, rather than just this fake world. Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
I've already forgotten the whole world once, when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
No, I told you what it's about. Or actually, sort of. It's why the killer's, degenerating.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met... You are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For all mankind.
I will.
She was hell on earth. Doesn't have to reach her stick insect to tell you that.
Oh my god. Yes! A stick insect. A strange cryptozoological stick insect is helping me to heal the trauma caused by my ex-wife leaving me. This is quality content right here. I love it. Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Cool.
The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant.
Cool.
Hypnotized by the flash, it stands frozen before you.
At the cool picture.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds and the sky, and you as a shadow before it. Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm. Or we can reach out and touch the creature's whisker. Let's do it.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Let's look at our finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Let's carefully pet its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Let's pull our hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor.
We got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
And we disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Well, that was something. That was really something. It's hissing like the reeds. And it's gone.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water.
Beautiful.
And something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
A collection of items?
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash, sturdy and black.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Alright, we gotta check out the nest. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to split up this episode into 2, possibly 3 segments. So let's save, because that was amazing. Oh, Class passport. We should look at that, like right now. This well-traveled passport with visas stamped in it is issued by the Republic of Oranje. You found it in the Phasmid's nest on the island. You can open it for more details.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
Let's look at the photo.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow. An old photo, before life came and did what it does.
What was this doing in the Phasmid's nest?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
I think the Phasmid took it.
like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
It says Katarzyna Alazie.
She said it would be for...
I thought so.
Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Katarzyna Alazie was supposed to be her real name. She lied to us.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us. One more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now.
What was her real name then?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alazie, or Klasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective.
We really should have arrested her.
Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
Fair enough. Alright, so that's all with that. Okay. Yep, that was the end of the nest. Let's talk to you.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the Phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing.
Let's touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the Phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
I do.
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke.
I talked to the Phasmid. It said it's destroying him.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Maybe. Anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
Could it be there's something hormonal in his relationship to the Phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
He seemed a little off for a man in his age. Randy. Oh, he did seem kind of horny.
Disco, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Oranje? I see what you mean.
He's been here a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company?
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Let's show him the passport.
No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Nah, I'm gonna let you rest.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched, and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength is all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Alright, hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Alright, well that was something. Use our boat to return to mainland. Yeah, I can do that. Map. Right, we probably unlocked some checks just because I kept upgrading my skills during that conversation. Wonder how much more there is to this game. I wonder. Can we try these checks again?
Soft covers. Serial.
No. This bed.
The greasy old.
No, nothing like that. Alright.
ICM. This feels familiar somehow.
Kim, what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The Black and White Army of the Revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM. It sounds like RCM, Revachol Citizens Militia.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
Really? May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
A white star.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky. The symbol of the commune.
Are those specks stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Alright, well, that's that then. Kim, you coming along? Wonder if we're gonna lose the photo. That'd be kind of funny. I would really appreciate it if we didn't, though.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Alright, let's return to the mainland,
Let's. We are done here.
he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Why are they waiting for me? Seems rather dark out for 5 p.m. So this is the consult,
Look what the tide brought him.
says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
The armor? No one else seems bothered by it.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it. That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Oh, that explains it.
Yes, that has always explained it.
This is not the first time he's seen you all decked out in Waka.
Vic, calm down.
Who are you people?
Hello, Trent Heilerstam.
Yeah, I
believe we've met once
thought it
already.
might have been him. I should have just said my suspicions. Yeah, the fake Swede.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trond Heidelstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
He asks, suddenly regaining his confidence.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, So I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you gotta have my back. Let's destroy them.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Right, what's all this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment, and he betrays me?
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building, mixed with blood.
Yeah, that was Cindy the Skull.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
So Trant Heidelstam turns out to be special consultant Trant Heidelstam.
Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstam.
What was up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh yeah, what was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
Him being there with his son, it was not a coincidence. It's difficult to see, but he was worried about you. And also interested in the Feld building.
Interesting. So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
You mentioned a task force.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Baby.
He stares at you. Gotcha, so this guy was a cop the whole time.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
So who's Guillaume?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit.
Sounds about right.
Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because I'm forcing him to stay.
Okay, so what does this unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
They're your posse, or what remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost.
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Wait, so you just let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore.
Yes. You're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentant shit a million times over.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, What do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor that I lost my memory and that light bends around millionaires' faces? Or, sorry, billionaires' faces.
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking Verrede for school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
I drank so much I lost my memory, and now I'm slowly recovering it.
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
Hey, I remember those cases.
The two cases. in the
Yeah.
ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
He gestures towards the scenery. God, this is a funny theory.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Leadership. Now.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Wait, my badge?
The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
What I do have is this futuristic armor.
We're not armor cops. We're cops. People don't know us by our armor. They know us by our badges. You called in and said you lost yours. Have you found it?
Yeah, I got it right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Let's try to upgrade our... Wait, what is this? Hand-eye coordination? Here it is. Yeah, there we go.
Not today, badge.
Behold, my badge.
And your gun?
Right. My gun is right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking forever. It's only me and this boring sorry. Let me start that over. I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
Yeah, some of us do our jobs, Jean.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
She's some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained.
Ah, well, if she was specially trained, I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself in the head.
That was a rough one.
Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
Hell yeah.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
You kinda did suggest it.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior.
Okay, so this is the judgment. This is everything at the end of the game. How you've been acting. This is where it comes down to. This final speech at the end.
Other still, he is also a Mazovian socio-economist who believes in liquidating the ruling class. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal on both.
I'm honestly not that vocal.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven.
Oh my god, this is such a turn on, Kim. Thank you for defending me.
And he solved it, near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever
The
since
species.
the revolution. Who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Hosanna in the highest?
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Kind of.
Detective?
Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
Hell yeah. Got something to say, Vic Mayor? Huh? Do ya?
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
Not a drunk anymore.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness.
I also started a nightclub in the church.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Yeah, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored entrepreneurial phenomenon in there too. A 2mm hole in the world.
That's great. Entrepreneur is a great new career for you. After police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Sure.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest. Behold, a passport.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I still think it was Bjork.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
Helmet? We didn't find a helmet.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
Wait. Were we supposed to find a helmet in there too? Like the helmet that Kuno kicked into the sea? I didn't find one. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Just a hunch.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense. Yes.
Sure.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
I think it emits a chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds.
Yes. That would be a chiromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's?
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
Oh, it's not too much. It's real.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Excellent.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it...
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
The killer, we have a strong motive for him. Lilianovich.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Oh, really? I thought he was just fake Russian.
The custom started in Grad, where they have
Grad.
Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead.
Oh. Lillian, huh? Similar to Lillian. Interesting.
This man's mother was Lillian. His Lillian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed.
Okay, this... Oh my god. Finally, we're wrapping everything up together. This is pretty beautiful.
It's a clean win.
It's way
Ooh,
more than
sorry about that, everybody. Let's see. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something.
Yeah, just getting sober, let me tell you, you start to stink rather to high heaven. Oh my god, it's brutal.
It will pass. In time.
The previous head of the Débardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrart and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
That's a fair point.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
Fix the strike situation, huh? Is such a thing even possible? Sure.
How? It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrart, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war. At which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
Leave?
What? Hand clear the terminal?
I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
Hey, how do you know about Al Ghul?
It doesn't matter how we know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everard Clare's peony now. Just as I said. He's a mob boss, did you know? Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous Union head thing? To get off Everard's hook?
No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinez.
See? It made sense.
Calm down, Jean.
There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
Okay, this is everything. This is all my side quests finally coming to a head. This is why I did them all, to see if I can go back to work.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Thank you, Judith.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
So, what do you say? Want to take the hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs.
So I have to.
Nice.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
A quick nod.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So, maybe this time.
Would be nice.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Oh, I was?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
You've noticed my bicep girth, Kim Kitsuragi? We'll talk about this later. The collection of fallen sportswear I've amassed.
Some of your more old-school wording choices. Your posture, even. The constant stretches.
And this guy, too.
When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
Yeah, I really have. You said in Courant? I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Seth, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Aha!
His smirk suggests big contained laughter.
So why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
What's her name? Dora?
Yeah. Dora England, I think.
England. Ah, fake Swede. Just like this guy.
Not Dora Dubois.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know.
Wow.
She was way before my time.
Wow. I can't believe I've been struggling with this for 6 years. Yikes in the yard.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England really tore you a new one. A big one.
So who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Figures.
Extremely fuckable hair. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Heartbreak, Welkin. Pain, Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Yep, sounds like it.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing.
Gotcha. So we were really low class, and she was not quite as low class as we were.
My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
Alright, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
Really? Because the suspects seem to think.
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Okay, that's good to know.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Precinct 41. What kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
So this... Okay, now I understand. I still can't believe my guy just didn't... Like, wait, how have you heard of Lieutenant Kitsuragi? This guy works for the cops, obviously.
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Torsen and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester
worst.
McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
And prices.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the
Ah.
founders of the RCM.
Cool.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere, Under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office.
I remember Nick Gottlieb. I think we talked to him on the radio.
They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Fair enough.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why did we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
That's fine with me.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
So I work in the bloody murder station.
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there. Hard. Every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Greatest.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
The Phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP.
Who is Lena?
The cryptozoologist's wife.
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock. Remember?
I do. A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine. If we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
Indeed.
Watch out, or she'll faint.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I mean investigate. Come work in Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. I'm crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Alright. I'm ready. End. I wonder if this is really the end.
Good.
She looks at me, then Vic Mare.
Fuck it, let's go.
The man-
Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Alright.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time.
Wait, are the sirens coming from outside? Yeah, okay, I thought the sirens might be coming from inside the game. The square bullet holes, that was a case of mine, I think.
Torsen? Yes. Yes. Heidelstam? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course.
Why did he say no?
Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Is this the end? Alright. Anything else? Kim, we were meant to be together. Think about it. The tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Ah, thanks, man. I did get shot up a whole bunch. Man, he looks so different in his 3D model. Oh, yeah, cool. No need to open the door. No, I'll just come right in. God, the 3D animation is lacking in this game. Oh, yeah, make sure to close it. God, that's the note you want to end the game on? A buggy. You couldn't fix that before the credits roll? What an experience! Oh my god. What a freaking game. That was really something. Yeah, so it was an experience. God, it looks like a bunch of Scandinavians or something made this game. So, Scandinavians, Russians. So, okay, I've got my problems with the game. You know. So the thing is, it's got like a very non-linear narrative, which is pretty cool. The problem with having a non-linear narrative is that every game is kind of like a different experience. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're willing to do bug testing for all of those different experiences, which is just impossible on a game of this scale. The 3D animation, God, was really, really kind of rough throughout the entire game, and even at the end. I like the Phasma, though. That was pretty good animation. But the art, the non-3D art was pretty good, I gotta say. Pretty trippy. And, of course, the writing. The lore. Oh my god, the lore, by far, is the best part about this game. The whole universe they created that you learn about as you go through the town is really quite something. And, of course, you know, yeah, sure, Amnesia is a bit of a hackneyed point. But it's like, oh, cool, you're learning about the world with this person who's suddenly coming into it with a, kind of like a child, you know? You have no idea what's going on behind the surface. So that was a great part of the game. And yeah, the writing was another great part of the game. The voice acting, a great part of the game. So there's good and bad in this game. And I did overall enjoy the experience that I had while playing this game. It was really, really long, but I did enjoy it. I'm wondering if there's New Game Plus. Like, you get to start a new game with all the stuff that you've accumulated. Oh, good. Here we are. The voice actors. Tariq Khan, Hitchens, Dot Major. Ooh, Julian Kim Kisaragi. God, I can't read fast enough. Stephen Hill, Ida May. Dizzy Dross. God. Oh my god, I can't read fast enough. Will Menaker. Will Menaker sounds familiar. Virgil Texas also kind of sounds familiar. But, yeah. I don't know. Final Cut. Oh, there's more. I mean, I'm trying. Titus Hardy by Mac McGuire. Interesting. So, were these different than the original voice actors? That's difficult to tell. Lucky Singh Azad. Mother of a Scab. We never met the Mother of a Scab. And Coalition Warship Archer. I feel like we missed a lot of people still here. When did we have the opportunity to talk to scabs? Did we have to become full capitalists in order to talk to the scabs? It's possible. The Insular Indian Phasmid, Yuan Zhang Tal. Very cool. Whisper Games. Wonder what else these guys are working on. So, what else is there? Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to do another playthrough at some point, but it's just going to take so freaking long to do anything. It would probably have to do like a compilation because so much is going to be repeated. But I am going to break my... because I haven't looked up anything about this game. Nothing really. I hate spoilers, and I didn't want to spoil anything for this game if I didn't have to. So... yeah, I might, go on Reddit or something, see some of the stuff I might have missed out on. Unless what people want me to do is, do another playthrough. If there's something that, some really different that I missed out on that I could. Oh, also what I'm going to be doing is browsing the list of achievements. I did rack up a few achievements during my game. One of the ones I got was Get Kim to Really Trust Me. I think I got that when I found the bullet in the Hangman's Head, which was a red check. It's really interesting to think of like how different the game would be if I never found the bullet in the dead man's head. It would really be something, I don't know. It's difficult to even imagine. Yeah, it was a whole journey. And I still wonder, could I have saved some of the people? Did everyone have to die that died, of the Hardy Boys, for example? And, for example, if I passed the red check with, what's her name? Ruby. Would Ruby have survived? And, would Ruby have survived if I had just said, okay, listen, we're not going to try to knock over the pail compressor or whatever, just get out of here. She probably would have survived in that case. And Classier. What if we had arrested Classier? I don't think anybody arrested Classier on the first go of it. It's the thing. She just the communist sniper Lilianovich, the Titus Hardy, the mercenary. Everyone just falls in love with her. Our character fell in love with her, and we're gay for Kim. I hope my character can get a little over our ex-wife. Now that 6 years have gone by and she's pregnant with another man's baby after she aborted ours. God, what a scumbag. No, I mean, she's not a scumbag. We were the scumbag, but it's just insult to injury. And it wasn't even her, right? That was just her in our imagination. So that's, that's what she has done to us in our mind. That's how we picture it. God, it was a labor of love. I'll say that about the game. It really, truly was a labor of love. Happy Elf Total Victory. Yeah, that game development thing that was going on in the game. I wonder, talking about how the writers were always drunk off their ass and, all that stuff. Oh, it really could have used more producers. I wonder how autobiographical all that stuff really was. Stress relief. Ziggy! Dog. Yeah, I thought, maybe we should specify that stress relief isn't anything naughty. It's literally just a dog that hangs out in the studio. 372 Caspar. Oh, are these, Patreon or Kickstarter Oh god, Chapo Trap House? I wonder how Chapo Trap House feels about this game, considering that they spend so much time just making fun of authoritarian communists. I've never listened to a Chapo Trap House. Mankind be vigilant, we loved you. Wow. That's creepy. But yeah, you can't, like, there's no ideology in this game that doesn't get made fun of. Every single one of them is just completely and utterly just mocked for the entire game, which is kind of funny. So, is there any, with detective mode, interactable objects and characters in the game are automatically highlighted. Checks are harder and heliums are more expensive. But we gain extra XP. Oh, streamer mode. How did I not see that before? Well, hopefully it doesn't become an issue. I really hope it doesn't become an issue. I guess I should have scrolled down. But, whatever. Tutorial agent. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cute. Alright, so... New game, load game, options. Alright, well, I mean, that's everything. That's the game, everyone. Yeah, again, if people in the comments really want me to keep playing this, I can do my best. I can try to see if I can do a different sort of playthrough. I don't know, a communist playthrough, a capitalist playthrough. Don't really feel good about a fascist playthrough, or just like a paranormal playthrough, a Rockstar playthrough, anything. I'd be potentially willing to do something like that, but depends on what people think of the playthrough. I honestly, yeah, I mean, it was a total journey, and I did enjoy the journey, I must say. It was, it's probably going to stay with me long after I quit the game, so yeah, what else is there to say? I'm World Undone, and I'm sure I'll have more to say about it as I play other games, as I compare them to this game. So, yeah, that's it for now. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next playthrough.